Hello again, everybody. This is our second orientation video, the Rampages orientation. If you haven't watched the Blackboard orientation one yet, you should go ahead and go through that and save this one for last. Here we're going to go through Rampages, how to get set up and running with it. Don't worry, we won't be doing much with Rampages in the first stages of the course. But there will be one assignment this week. I'm going to ask everybody to make one blog post where you introduce yourself to the rest of the group. Rampages basically is a blogging platform. It's based on WordPress, in case you're familiar with that. Rampages is still relatively new to VCU. I think it's been around for less than 2 years. But those of you who have recently taken Focus Inquiry, for instance, there's a very good chance you're familiar with Rampages, as we're starting to make heavy use of it in that course. But I'm going to go through this assuming that you're not familiar with it at all and you need to get up and running for the first time. You'll see if you go to rampages.us, this is the screen you'll find. So even though this is VCU's blogging platform, it's not part of the VCU network. You'll notice that there's no vcu.edu in the URL. It's part of VCU's system, but it isn't. What this means is that you will need to register independently of your VCU account. Just being in the VCU system won't get you into Rampages. So we want to take some time now to go ahead and get you set up with an account. And you'll see that button right here if you follow my cursor to the lower right. If you click on Create an Account, you'll want to create your own username, anything you want. It might be up to you to decide whether you want something that actually identifies you personally or if you'd like to keep this semi-private. One thing to keep in mind as you register now for Rampages is that you won't actually be creating your own blog. That's not a requirement for this course. What we'll do once you're in the system is get you enrolled in the blog I've created, and we'll see that soon enough. So you can make your own username, whatever you want, or you can be even more creative than that. You'll want to be sure to use your VCU email address. Now, that won't be public. I don't think that anybody who sees our blog is going to see your VCU email address, but this whole Rampages system really is meant to be available to VCU students, only VCU students. So that's a safeguard that way. So here you'll see a couple of options. Give me a site or just a username, please. You can go with just a username, and someday you might be in another course where they'll ask you to make your own Rampages blog, and that'll be pretty straightforward. You can do it then. So my suggestion might be to go with just a username, please. Now, I've already registered. I can't do it again, so this is about as far as I can go. So I believe when you register, you're going to have to wait for a confirmation email, and sometimes that comes quickly, sometimes not. So I think it would be a very good idea to get started with this process right away so that if you have to wait, it's not going to put you out with other requirements in the course. So I'm going to assume that you're going ahead with this, that you're registering with a username, you'll get the confirmation, and you'll get up and running. So now, let me back up. Once you're up and running with Rampages, you could access our course page anytime this way. Click on the Course Rampage button in Blackboard. This will be one way to get to it, or you can always just go to rampages.us and get in that way. You don't actually need to go through Blackboard. So I click on the button, it opens Rampages. Now, since I logged out to show you how to register, I'm logged out, it will bring you to a page like this. If you have your ID and password saved, it'll be here, otherwise you'll have to type it again, and then you go ahead and log in. Now, one neat thing about the Rampages platform is that you can belong to any number of different blogs as contributor, author, whatever. You can create virtually unlimited number of blogs of your own. And that might be useful for other projects and courses of yours, not, not so much for here. But once you get to our course page, and by the way, this is private. I should really emphasize that from the start. This is a private blog. Outsiders should not be able to see this, meaning that anything you post on this blog will be private forever and all time. I can guarantee that for you. Nothing you say here will come back to haunt you in the real world, and that's why I've set the privacy settings in this way. Now, there's not much on this blog right now. Hopefully that will change soon. I posted a welcome video that you can also find on YouTube. There's an older course trailer, might be fun for you to watch. That is about it for now. There's some other sort of test posts I've made. There's really nothing else you need to pay attention to for the moment. Now, to get started, once you are up and running here, I will have added you. We'll talk about how you get enrolled with the page in a little while. Let's save that for the last step. Let's assume that you're in the Blackboard. You're in the Rampage. What you can do is this. You'll see at the very top of the page is this little bar. If you go over Phil 201 Summer 2015 online, you should be able to find this or something like it. I don't know whether you'll see all these options on your end because you won't have full administrator privileges. But if you should be able to click on Dashboard. When you do, you'll see quite a bit here. Most of this stuff will never concern you. But the one thing you'll want to know about is this posting function. Here is where you'll make blog posts. Here is where you'll make your very first blog post, which is a personal introduction. You might have seen that assignment excuse me, on the Blackboard page. Under Posts, if you go to Add New, here's where you would write your introduction. Or you can type it up on your own computer and save it and just paste it in here when you want. I did my introductory video, or my introduction in the form of a video. You can certainly do that if you have a capability. It's simply a matter of making a YouTube or whatever, adding the link here. Beware though, Rampages is kind of picky about uploading videos. They can only be of a certain size. It wouldn't even accept my 2-minute introduction. So the trick might be to, if you do want to make a video for this or for anything else, would be to upload to YouTube and then just link to it here. But I'm going to presume that many of you would rather just write an introduction of a paragraph or two. You might include your name in the title of the post and introduce yourself. Now, here is something very important. Please pay very close attention. For whatever purposes you might have to post to this blog, you're always going to want to categorize your post. And you'll notice this little bar here. Please remember to categorize each and every post you make so that we can keep things orderly here. And so when one of your classmates needs to find something you've posted, they can know where to look. You will want to categorize this under introductions. I've already made a number of different categories. There could be a few more that I'll create as the course goes on, but for now this should get us going. What this means is that on the page itself, you'll see in the sidebar there's a list of categories, introductions, so that when you actually want to go and see the introductions posted by your classmates, you can find them all in one place. And again, that will keep things orderly. So you'll notice that there are some other categories here that might be of interest to you. Questions about assignments and questions about readings and lessons. I'm hoping, beyond anything else I ask of you, that you'll feel free to post questions on the blog that either I or your classmates or both could answer. So when you have a specific question about an assignment, you'd want to click that category. Unclick any category that it shouldn't belong to, and that will make sure when I go in and I want to see if any learners in this class have specific questions about assignments, I can see them all in one place, and then I might post a reply or a comment that will answer the question. And I think this might be a helpful way of going about things. It's not really blogging as you might be familiar with it, but it's a good way of asking a question as though we were in a classroom together so that everyone can hear the question and everyone can see the answer. So that anything I can tell you to help you out will be to everyone's benefit as well. So, going back to the introductions, once you have your post ready, once you have your text, once you have checked the right category, let's make it introductions again, you would go to Publish. Click Publish, and then it becomes part of the blog. So by, I suppose, Wednesday morning, once these introductory posts have come due, I'll want to go in, make sure everybody has done it, give you a little bit of credit for it. First little bit of easy credit for this course you could earn. All right. Once you've registered with Rampages, once you've signed up, once you're able to log in, then the next step is to contact me, to let me know that you are more or less up and running with Rampages. You won't yet be able to see our course Rampage because I have to give you access to it, and I have to give you author privileges. So once you're in the system, email me at almarks.vcu.edu. Send me two things, just to be thorough. Send me your VCU email, so-and-so@vcu.edu, and send me the user ID that you chose when you registered for Rampages. That would be the same thing you log in with when you go to Rampages. Send me both of those things just in case, because it might be easier for me to get you enrolled with the email, or it might be easier for me to get you enrolled with that ID. So that'll take a bit of time. Right now it's almost noon on Monday. This video will be going out to you shortly. Then I'll be waiting by my email with bated breath, waiting to hear from you. Let me know that you are registered with Rampages, and then I will get you added to our blog, and then you can go ahead with this next step. So I think that about covers it for now, but of course, send me any questions you have, and if I realize that I'm overlooking anything big here, I will get the word out so that everybody can get on board with Rampages in an orderly fashion. So that's about it. I'll sign off. Good luck with this. Remember, rampages.us is where you'll want to go as soon as possible and get the ball rolling. I will talk to you soon.